riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. It's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me, as always, co-host extraordinaire, Dennis to my menace, Timothy Richardson. Tim, how you doing, buddy?
I am pretty confused.
What's got you so confused this week?
We have been listening to an album that, I guess I'm calling it an album. I don't really know that it's an album, but we are talking about Lil Pump's sophomore album, Harverd Dropout, presumably misspelled to avoid a lawsuit from Harvard University, released February 22nd, 2019.
That's right. Many of you, I suspect Tim might even have some names, have requested that we take a peek at Mr. Pump, and we asked which one. And luckily, not just our listeners, but the internet resoundingly said this is among one of the worst albums of the year. But we couldn't take other people's words for it. We had to find out ourselves. So we took it on. We gave it a listen all week long. And I have to ask Tim, do you hate this album?
I definitely do, Garrett. This is trash.
That is a strong opinion up front. No dithering, no caveats, no second thoughts. It seems as though you are ready to say right up top confidently, you hate this.
I do. Absolutely do. What about you? Do you hate this?
Oh, yes, absolutely. This is terrible. It's everything I hate about mumble rap. It's everything I hate about the youth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we will get there, but the youths are terrible.
Yeah, I feel so old. Before we talk about the album itself, Tim, I'm curious, is this the first time your pump has been lulled?
Yeah, it is. I have absolutely no history with this. I have not heard a single second of this before this week, and I will not hear a second of it after this week. This was suggested by Michael Gudelock, Cornyflakes02, and Kyle
Can you
Dacey.
read?
Yeah, Cornyflakes02.
Oh, what was the first part, though?
Cornyflakes, like the band Korn?
No, before that. Doodle Locks? What did you say?
Michael Gudelock. Anyway, some of those people suggested the first album. Some of those suggested a single song for a prepisode. And for those of you that suggested a single song, I apologize. That's what we should have done.
Yes. Boy, that's what we should have done.
Yeah. What about you? Is this the first time your Lil Pump's ever been jet skied?
Jet skied?
Yeah, it used to be part of his name.
Well, I didn't even learn about that.
Yep.
Why?
I don't know.
He likes jet skis.
Yeah, he screams jet ski a bunch on this album. We'll get into it. Have you ever heard this goddamn album?
No, not at all. Exact same history. I knew he existed as a genre. You're not going to intimately get to know 6699 without reading a little bit about Mr. Pump. You're also just not going to be at least attuned to the modern rap and hip-hop news that you and I go over on a daily basis, part of our daily board meetings, without stumbling upon Mr. Pump here and there. But as far as his music or even what he looked like, Tim, this is my first exposure, and I gotta say, no sir, I don't like it.
I have to put my foot down right now. I don't care what happens to him in our future news cycles. This guy's not living at our house.
Absolutely not. If he was hoping to get some fourth couch bed in there, invitation rescinded.
Agreed.
I want to be clear. It's not because we're out of space. I mean, it's going to be tight. You, me, 6699, presumably. We're going to let him choose, of course. But we have the couch bed in the corner.
Right. But he's a little guy, and we do have room for him, but he's not allowed in.
I'm curious, Tim, do you think if we just put like a yoga mat under your couch bed, he could just curl up in there?
Lil Pump?
No. He is not allowed in our home.
All right.
6ix9ine.
He might like that.
Given that he will be constantly in fear of being murdered by the Bloods, I believe, that he sold down the river immediately, he might like a little extra cover, a little bit of Operation Human Shield.
Okay, so you would like my corpse to be bullet-ridden so you can continue to do the show with 6699.
I'm not claiming that's my plan overall. If you want to sleep in a bulletproof vest every night, that's probably not the worst plan.
Like once he gets here or in general?
Probably in general.
Okay.
That's your history. That's my lack of history. Before we can talk about the music itself, we need to understand where it came from. So Tim, take us on a journey, and I hope it to be brief. Help us understand, who is Lil Pump and how did he create Harvard Dropout?
Lil Pump, originally Lil Pump Jet Ski, real name Gazzy Garcia, I will of course be calling him Gazzy, was born in 2000 in Miami, Florida to Colombian immigrants who got divorced when he was about 6. He got in a shit ton of trouble at school. At 13, his cousin, Lil Ominous, introduced him to somebody named Smoke Perp, who decided to have a collabo, as they call it, with Gazzy.
Nobody calls it that.
I'm starting a thing, Garrett. Garrett. It's going to be super popular. Smoke, Perp, and Gazzy got expelled from a bunch of different schools together before Gazzy was expelled for the last time in 10th grade for fighting and also inciting a riot. I might start calling you Gazzy from now on, actually.
I wouldn't appreciate that.
All right.
Could you not do that?
We'll see. Probably not for this episode because it might get confusing.
Might?
Might. Perp had a finished track produced and he asked Gazzy to freestyle rap over it. That was eventually released in 2016 as the song Lil Pump on SoundCloud, followed by a few other songs, and he joined the genre of SoundCloud rap. It's also known as emo rap, mumble rap, and, obviously alongside 6699, Lil Peep, Lil Xan, and XXXTentacion.
Triple X Temptation, maybe?
Yes, Triple X Temptation. Nah, you know what? If you want me to pronounce your name correctly, don't make up such a dumb name.
Let's call him Paddington.
Okay.
It's a fun name to say, right?
Yeah. Gazzy and Paddington.
Well, are we going to talk much about Triple X Temptation?
Oh, no.
Oh, good.
Not at all. Each one of them, though, is, a goddamn class act, of course. Gazzy also gained some fame in the South Florida rap scene, which doesn't sound like something to brag about, to be honest. I've been to South Florida. It's not awesome.
Florida has such a strange mix. You've got, obviously, the Latin influence. You've got the incredibly old that flock there.
Yep.
You've got your parrot heads. And then you've got South Florida rap scene.
Don't forget about the criminally insane.
Sure, which is no more than 49% of the population in general. Now, do you think they cross-cut into those various categories? So could you be a senior citizen who's criminally insane?
Yes, you could also be a senior citizen who is an alligator or a criminally insane person who is an alligator.
That's a great point, Tim. I completely left off the list chronic alligators and pythons and newly discovered Nile crocodiles.
Yeah, don't go to Florida. I know we have a lot of listeners in Florida. We're not talking about you specifically.
But get out of there.
Everyone you know is horrible. Just horrible.
We don't want to make generalizations, so I appreciate you honing it in, Tim.
Yeah.
Not you, the listener, or anyone that you may turn onto the podcast at a future date that then hears this. You guys get it. Every person that isn't you listening right now is terrible. You got to get out of there. Seriously, we're going to take a minute. I'm going to pause right here. I want everyone to know we're dead serious. You got to get out of there. Yeah. This is like a difficult relationship. We all see he's abusive. Florida comes home, treats you like garbage. It makes you second guess yourself, do crazy things. You weren't like this when you were with Missouri, Texas, North Dakota. Get out of there. You are not your best you when you are with Florida.
I assume that's insulting to 6% of our listeners, but
I can't imagine. I haven't looked at the Florida numbers in a bit.
I'm talking about the abusive relationship numbers.
Oh, it's probably higher than that.
Oh, how tragic.
Well, if you speak cumulatively across their life.
Fair enough. So I don't know what it is with the interwebs rappers. This guy, he's got the weird pink and purple dyed dreads, the face tattoos, the bad face tattoos. I mean, he's a toned down 6699 in all the wrong ways, and he's kind of a cranked up 6699 in all the wrong ways as well.
Yeah, he's the worst extreme possible in every measurable way.
I don't know. I think we might need to listen to a little more 6699 before we say that definitively.
Also, based on the things that he has done that you can go watch on YouTube, and we will get into, I'm a little scared of him. 6ix9ine, I'm terrified.
Right.
We have invited him into our home, given him a place to sleep, but I don't necessarily trust him just yet.
Well, sure. I cannot guarantee that you will not wake up to have a 6699 face tattoo that he has just given you in your sleep.
Good Lord.
Garrett, he has been in prison. He knows how to give a stealthy tattoo.
Is that a large part of prison culture?
Oh, yeah. You think all those people go in wanting to get a prison tattoo? It's a fucking modified Bic.
Yeah, that's true. And he manages to do it in such a way that you don't wake up?
Yeah, he's got a very gentle touch. You've heard his music.
Sounds wrong. Anyway, back to this nightmare.
He also has a really fun and really cool catchphrase that he will shout just right into your face. You might be able to say this a little bit better than I can. It's eskeetit? Eskeetit?
What is it? Esketit.
Esketit. Okay. The internet describes this as a shortened version of let's get it, but I did the math, Garrett. It is the exact same number of letters, and it also takes a little longer to say.
It's It's like you were trying to take your retainer out while you said, let's get it.
Exactly. In early 2017, Gazzy released 2 singles that got combined 70 million streams on SoundCloud. The song D Rose got a music video directed by somebody known as Lyrical Lemonade. That got more than 185 million views on YouTube. And then in June 2017, Gazzy signed a record deal with Warner Brothers. And then 2 months later, Garrett, he turned 17. So he's a real Billie Eilish.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to cut him the same slack, though, because you could do better.
Well, yeah, if Billie Eilish is a 10, Lil Pump is a 3.
Right, and you hated Billie Eilish.
Yeah, I can't stand her.
In October 2017, his debut album, Lil Pump, came out. It was released on Warner Brothers Records. It hit number 3 on the Billboard 200 chart. Gucci Gang, the song from that album, went triple platinum, and his song Welcome to the Party was featured in Garrett's second favorite Deadpool movie, Deadpool 2. It's weird, Garrett. It has Cable. Everyone loves Cable.
Sure, but that first one was so refreshing, and you wondered, will they get it right? And of course, with Ryan Reynolds, you know they did.
Yep, Ryan Reynolds, on every single outing of being Deadpool, has gotten it 100% correct. All 3 times. In January 2018, the Warner Brothers contract was voided because no one bothered to check to make sure he was legally an adult at the time he signed it.
Right, so hold on a second. Does Warner Brothers not have a single attorney?
Well, they do, but none of those are involved with the vetting process and signing contracts. Speaking of which, why don't we try Warner Brothers for Texas Toast? They seem to have a very lax policy.
Yeah, they probably won't check any of our fine print on the contract. Folks, we got to be honest, we've been sitting on some really golden songs for the debut album of Texas Toast. If you don't know what we're talking about, listen to your back episodes. Problem is, we just can't seem to settle on an appropriate record company to sign with. The word's out. They've made some very attractive offers, but we have specific needs as a creative duo. Do you want to classify the genre, Tim? I mean, we'll call it modern country for now, but let's just say there's a lot.
No, we will not. Modern country, as you have heard on this very show, is a garbage.
Right, Tim, but our songs are sung with an accent. There's a lot of rapping. 90% of it's product placement, and we have Nelly.
We are modern country. God damn it.
So as soon as we can find a record company that's willing to support our very specific needs, we want to own the masters, of course. We require that every performance, the green room is equipped with a horse for each of us, as well as a stage horse if we need it, and they cannot be the same horses.
Absolutely. And
I want a calm, shy horse for the green room. I'm trying to get mentally prepared to perform. But out on that stage, that horse needs to shine.
That's right. Needs to be a fucking wild bronco. Along those same lines, Garrett, I don't know if we have fully discussed this. I have a good 7,000 reserved tickets for anyone that can demonstrate membership in the Cowboy organization for each one of our concerts. I think that's fair. I mean, again, the record company will, of course, be paying for all of this. So
right, but I don't want any of those freak shows at our concerts.
Who do you think's going to be listening to our music?
Hopefully, at least 65% of our audience from this show. That is where the accountants explained to me we break even.
Oh, all right.
So at least 65% of you, please buy the first album. You figure out which ones want to do it. 35% of you can opt out. Maybe you don't have enough money. You're a college student. I don't know. But you guys sort it out. We can't possibly be asked to figure that out.
Yeah. In March 2018, Gazzy signed a one-record $8 million contract with Warner Brothers, who really wanted him back after the law got in the way of them paying that boy or whatever. I was completely unaware that contracts like this still existed.
No, I didn't think any music label was shelling out this kind of cash. However, I didn't look up the particulars. I'm wondering how much of a piece they get across the board. Like, it wouldn't be shocked to learn that, sure, here's $8 million. However, we don't own 20% of your record sales. We own 20% of you. So you sell a shirt, you sell a hat, you sell a fucking bumper sticker from your garage on a Saturday. We get half.
He released a bunch of other singles throughout 2018 with a wide variety of other collaborators. He originally planned to release the album of the week, Harvard Dropout, on his 18th birthday, but then, as the internet says, he, and I'm quoting here, lost the album for some amount of time. So the release was postponed to February 2019. I don't know what he's been up to since then.
For the last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, me either. Is there a rap sheet?
Oh, Garrett, there is a rap sheet.
All right, Tim, take us through it. This guy has quite a storied career. He's been breaking the law at a lot of different levels, really moving up the ranks, and I think he's going to go pro someday. So take us through it.
To start off with, this is not really a criminal offense. It's more of a civil offense. There are a ton of pictures of this guy performing in a cowboy hat. After about a month in the Cowboy archives, going through a bunch of old manuscripts, unearthing some ancient scrolls. I have determined Ghazi is not a cowboy. He is a poseur, I think is how it's pronounced.
Flawless.
He is not one of us. He does not know what it takes to be a cowboy. We are out there every day fighting for individuality, freedom, standing up for the less fortunate, standing up against schoolyard bullying, keeping the world safe from daddies and pirates. Not out there.
Slaughtering Native Americans across our country.
Yeah, the U.S. government pays very well for that.
Still?
It's under the table, but yeah. Again, not a crime, but he is in fact illiterate.
Hold on, so this is a big question of the whole album for me. Can he read?
He cannot. He claims to have dyslexia, which our longtime dyslexic listeners will know that does not equal lifelong illiteracy. I will make the argument right now, his lyrics were 100% what he could come up with the first time and memorize on the spot.
God damn you. You're just reading my general thoughts now.
Okay, some crimes here. We're going to skip the school troubles.
Yes, let's summarize his school years with kicked out multiple times to the point that he went to an opportunity school, which is a hilarious name for child prison. Tim, did you ever have to go to an opportunity school?
No.
I had several friends who did. Growing up in Fort Worth, Texas, not uncommon for gentlemen in my high school to go hunting over the weekend and then, leave a gun and several rounds in the back of their truck and go to class. The law mandated you cannot bring a gun and ammunition to a school. You have to go to an opportunity school. Whereas I understand it, they mostly just sat there doing free time for 8 hours a day.
Yeah, sounds kind of nice.
How are they supposed to get ahead if they're moving slower than everybody?
I believe this was one of Bart Simpson's complaints as well. I was actually unfamiliar with the term opportunity school until this week. I had a similar misunderstanding, though, with some of my cousins that live in Germany. In Germany, the public school system is extremely good. You have to go to private school if you are too dumb for public school or you get in trouble or something like that.
If you're too stupid, they basically say, we're not going to pay for you to go to school.
Yes, you have to pay for yourself.
I'm sorry, your son, he's dumb. We are not going to pay for him to learn because, frankly, all he does is listen to music and then point out what he doesn't like about it.
Yeah, he just keeps drawing cowboys on his binder.
We get it, Tim. You don't like record scratches.
Yeah, but my nephews assumed that I was an idiot for 4 years because I went to a private high school in the U.S. because public schools are terrible, and they just assumed I was real stupid.
I don't see that as even sort of the same thing, but that's hilarious.
Back to the rap sheet. In February 2018, 17 years old, Ghazi is arrested for discharging a weapon in an inhabited residence.
Oops.
His manager claimed 3 men tried to break into his home in the middle of the afternoon and shot his door. Police said it looked like that bullet was probably fired from the inside, and so they came back with a search warrant, found a handgun and ammunition that I assume, based on the fact that he was then arrested for this, matched the bullet in the door.
Of course.
His mom was also investigated for endangering a minor, because again, he's 17 at this point, and for having an unsecured firearm in the presence of a minor.
I don't think it was her gun.
Oh.
It's probably her gun, but
Right.
doubt she knew it existed.
Rub the serial numbers off of it. I get it.
Nope, not what I said.
For our younger listeners, if you're gonna use a gun in a crime...
No. Do not use guns.
Okay.
That is the policy of the show.
Oh, right.
Stop with your advice.
In August 2018, he was arrested for driving without a license in Miami, and then he announced on the interwebs that he would be going to jail for a few months, as this arrest was a violation of his parole from the earlier incident. And then a couple weeks later, he did SNL with Kanye, and in October, his manager said he had served his prison sentence, but would not go into it. So I guess he got a couple of weeks in jail for that. In December 2018, he was arrested in Copenhagen, Daneland for marijuana possession and fined for that. He live streamed the arrest, including him flipping off the police, and was then banned from the country of Daneland for 2 years.
And that's definitely how you say that. Did you watch the video of that?
Oh, yeah.
That's the weirdest thing about this guy is there's so many different things that I learned about him that I then just watched actually happen.
Absolutely.
Because that's what happens when you're born in 2000.
Later that month, Ghazi was arrested in Miami. The police asked to search his bags for pot, mostly because he spends a lot of his time bragging about how he can take pot through the U.S. air travel system. Ghazi said he didn't have any bags, and then they took the bags that Ghazi he said he didn't have. No drugs were found. He did get taken into custody for disorderly conduct and trying to fight the air police while they searched the bags that, again, actually didn't have any pot in them.
Right, but one of his bandmates did.
Yes.
So Reed, hey man, I can't be caught with this. That's your bag.
Right. And also, just as a caveat, the bags might have had pot in them because in 2017, the TSA sent agents disguised as passengers with fake weapons, explosives, and drugs through security, and they successfully got through security without any of this being found 17 out of 18 times. So there's a chance that that bag had marijuana in it and no one knew.
Good God.
Yeah.
They are terrifically bad at their job.
Well, it's important to listen to them. That's our official policy.
I really wrestle with that.
Garrett, they will not let you on a plane ever again. You will be on a list.
That's true. As it is, every time I go through security, I get flagged for that random screening.
Oh yeah. There's a list on a government website that you can just add a name to. Anyone can.
If you see something, say something.org.
And then in 2019, Forbes named Ghazi to their 30 under 30 list. Their segment on him was titled, "The goal is to be the most ignorant, richest rapper," which is apparently a quote directly from him in this interview. And the article was almost entirely negative, so I don't really understand why he's on that list to begin with.
I think that it's like person of the year. Doesn't mean you're a good person. And that article could be 100% honest because
He'll never know.
Lil can't read.
Yep.
You know, if we get 500,000 downloads in a month, Tim will get the tattoo on his body, Lil can't read.
And if we get 1 million, I will blind Garrett so he can never read again.
Oh my God, no you won't.
I will.
How will I read my notes?
You can do like Lil does, and they'll just be slightly more simplistic.
All right, let's compromise. Acid in one eye.
Done. And I mean
But like
done.
a weak acid. I want to be blind. I don't want you hollowing out the cavity.
Jesus Christ. Hydrofluoric or nothing. I get it.
Right. I don't want to end up with a goddamn chemical lobotomy because you don't know how to properly pick your acids.
You don't know what hydrofluoric acid is.
I don't.
It's not a good one.
All right, let's get into general thoughts. As you said, no second takes. If anybody wrote a lyric down beforehand, I would be shocked.
Oh yeah, it seems like stream of consciousness. There's a lot of repetition, and it seems like what they've done is he sings a line, they loop it over a bunch of times, and then he shouts his own response to the line that he is hearing of himself.
Well, I think they record the whole song start to finish. And then he's like, wow, I wonder what I said. And then he listens back and where he feels appropriate, throws in the various woos and
Yeah. Oh God, the brrt. This may as well have been partially in a foreign language. I mean, God damn it. God damn it. There are so many nonsense words on this fucking album. The backing vocals are all nonsense words.
The backing vocals.
All the brrt and the
Generous phrasing, backing vocals. Yeah, I don't know what to call it, but yes, there's a bunch of gibberish in here. It's quaint. I don't know what to call it.
It's quaint.
It's kind of like a mashup between incredibly offensive rap music and like Kids Bop.
Almost every one of these songs is intro, super repetitive chorus, single verse, sometimes an outro. That's it.
Yeah. The only variation, second verse. The album's 40-ish minutes. As you said, very simple, not a lot of meat on that bone. Why did it take me so long to get through it every time?
I don't think I ever, maybe once, maybe the very first time I listened to this all the way through, I had to listen to a single song at a time and then go get violently drunk and sober up, sleep it off, and then come back for song number 2. It is fucking difficult to get through.
For so many reasons. It was kind of like reading Clockwork Orange. Every fourth word, I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
That's
I had to
true.
go Google what words were. I haven't felt this old in a little while. You imply that I'm incredibly old on a regular basis, or at least considerably older than you. Not true. But this week, I felt ancient.
Yeah, you actually
I
just
didn't
had a
know.
birthday, so I imagine you probably feel that way in general.
I am one day older. Anybody who thinks you turn a whole year older that day is a fucking idiot. Why would you obsess on it when you're only 24 hours older? Now, if you want to take a step back and write down every single day rather than the date that you've been alive, then you start to get some real sense of scale and the impending sense of doom takes over. But this podcast isn't about existential dread, Tim. It's about music.
It kind of is, though.
Yeah, absolutely. After I got through it maybe twice and had looked up all the words, I graded a bit of a Lil Pump glossary. It's probably a youth glossary, a youth gloss.
Oh, we could publish that with my other book on how many times a word can be used, because I had to add a whole appendix for this album.
Right. Tim has somehow comprised a holistic journal of how many times every word in the English language and some Italian can be used in a song.
And this broke my book.
Oh, sure. You cannot blame Lil Pump. You know why?
Can't read.
Can't read.
You know what? That's the problem, because you get like the Billie Eilish and you're like, well, she's kind of young. She might not know what she's doing. You know, maybe I can't hate this. Every time we say he can't read, it doesn't have that effect on me.
No, I almost hate him more.
This album also has about as much depth and meaning as your average internet meme.
If that, I think a BuzzFeed listicle headline might be more in depth than this kid. Now, let's be fair. He wrote this at what, 17?
Sure, but
it's not an excuse, Tim. It's merely data to help us understand why it exists that way. Doesn't mean you have to hate him any less or cut him any slack, because this, and I think you're headed the exact same direction, this is maybe the most extreme example we've ever seen across any genre, any album we've done on this show, possibly any music I've ever heard, with the repetition here.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean words in a row. I mean, are there 3 things he sings about?
Yeah, he sings about those in every song.
Every song.
We could do this like a prepisode. When we say song by song, we then list all the titles of the songs and then just do it in one big block.
I almost want to do it. There's 16 songs on here. Let's just roll a fucking die, and whatever number pops up, that's how many we're talking about.
I like it.
Okay, Tim, because it's going to come up on every single song, let's throw it out there. What are the main themes of the album?
He loves jewelry and diamonds.
Okay. He also loves fucking bitches. His words, not mine.
Yep. He loves drugs, specifically opiates you can drink.
He loves cars.
He loves the concept of money in general.
Yeah, and in fact, what he really loves, Tim, is racks.
Oh, he does
racks
love a
racks.
good rack. He pisses on racks sometimes.
Don't get ahead. So yeah, let's rattle it off again. We got racks. We got fucking bitches. His words, not mine. Cars. We've got the jewelry. And we've got the drugs.
Everyone's jealous of him.
Oh, everybody, Tim. They all want to be him. They want to be a Lil Pump.
They want to Gazzy it up.
I'm surprised you just went with Gazzy.
What am I going to add to Gazzy?
I can't do it. I am not gifted with giving people the worst nickname. I unfortunately have the opposite gift.
His parents gave him the worst nickname. You're going to be real pissed off for the rest of the tenure of this show when I call you Gazzy. I think you're going to learn to understand exactly why I think it's so stupid. But let's talk about what this guy looks like, because that's going to come up a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
So he's clearly trying to do a 6699 thing, but if you look at some of the pictures, he looks like if Justin Bieber and 6699 had some sort of Hispanic baby.
I mean, you're not wrong. He has soft features.
Yeah, he has Bieber-y features.
Yeah, he's got the features with the colored dreads, which is such an odd style. He dresses very unusually for the rap game. It's become more popular, of course, with this genre of music. Obviously, a great deal of Gucci gear. The style is unique to the youths these days in the rap game, where he's wearing like a tiger t-shirt, because Gucci's got that, with like bright orange shorts and black socks and some slides. And you're like, this is what we're looking like now. This is cool.
Plus about $800,000 worth of diamonds randomly positioned on him.
That's a great point, Tim. I cannot leave off the house worth of diamonds draped across his body. Why?
I don't know. He feels like a knockoff 6699 who, apologies to 6699, kind of feels like a knockoff of a Lil Wayne. Mm-hmm. So this is 2 steps removed.
I'm going to make a controversial statement before we move into the song by song. The production, let me be even clear. The beats and music for 16 tracks, I'm going to say 10. I kind of like. And by that, I mean, it's unlike some stuff I've heard in rap before. It's not just relying on the blown out bass or a slowed down beat. There's a lot of synth in there. There's piano in there. And they're certainly not the first to use piano in rap, don't get me wrong. But the production, the producers and the beats made for these songs were at least interesting to me.
Yeah. And it's got 15 producers credited on here. So it's fairly interesting that they were able to keep a fairly good production standard throughout the whole album. It's kind of weird. All of Gazzy's contributions, which I believe are just lyrics off the top of his head in the moment, are incredibly stupid. They're very obnoxious, and he isn't particularly good at rapping. I think that's most obvious in the parts where he speeds the vocals up a bit.
Oh, yeah.
This sounds like what you would get if you give an amateur a professional production budget. So they've got the money behind it to make it sound good, but you still can't make him good at his role.
Exactly. Song number 1, Drop Out.
Dropped out, spent $500,000 on my whip. Ooh, dropped out, and I ain't never had a job. Dropped out, new
I already hate this.
Dropped out, then I got rich. Dropped out, then I put a Patek on my wrist. Patek? I don't know. Ooh. So he's got a nice watch, Tim.
Patek, or Patek, for those of you that don't know, is a company whose business plan is to scam the extremely wealthy out of their money by selling them the ugliest watches you've ever seen, sometimes for more than $1 million a piece.
It's very confusing. Now, Tim, you and I, we're not a couple of 1-2 rich guys, right? We're not out there just, well, I have no idea where you get the money that you do have.
My net worth technically is exactly the same as yours. I got access to all the accounts, Garrett. I know where all of them are.
Why? How?
I think it was a Mission Impossible movie. I dusted your keyboard and then I looked at what your passwords are. It's surprisingly effective. No one thinks to go low tech anymore.
Interesting. I am dubious of your explanation, but I have noticed some funds missing. So we'll talk after this. But my point is, neither one of us are a couple of big old rich guys, so we don't know for sure. But if we were, I don't understand the compulsion to buy a watch that fancy. Because as you pointed out, ugly as shit.
Yeah, well, this is like a very new money phenomenon. So this is somebody that grew up real poor and wants everyone to immediately see that he is not poor anymore, which ironically is going to make him poor in the future, right?
Right. You can't just buy $100,000 watches all day and expect to have that kind of money all the time.
Right. This is a guy who is proudly bragging about a time, or in this case, multiple times, that he was ripped off, that somebody scammed him out of money. All of these songs are just about like, hey man, I paid $2,000 for a white t-shirt. Yeah, you're stupid. The song is about how you're stupid.
Now, I want to give Lil, if I can even call him that.
Just
really,
call him Gazzy.
I want to give Pump some credit. Is probably the wrong word. He's 16, 17, 18 with way too much money. 0 people checking in to make sure he doesn't do stupid things with this money. I'm pretty sure I would do exactly the same at that age with that much money and no one to stop me.
Well, right. If you're young and you get a ton of money like this, you don't know how to handle it. But he seems to be on the very end of this spectrum, right?
Oh,
if
you
got an $8 million contract when you were 17, you might buy one Lambo or one Rari, as he calls them.
I can say for certain I would not purchase a bunch of diamond-covered watches and necklaces.
Yes, but you might have your face created out of diamonds.
Well, sure. What's the point of making all that money if you're not going to do smart things with it?
I would like us to have a Why I Hate This Album's vault below our labs, where we collect artifacts from each one of our conquests, each one of our albums that we do. So for this guy, we would have that diamond in there. You know,
what are you saying right now? Do you want to murder him and steal his things?
No. It's like a museum, like a bat cave, if you will. You know, you got the giant penny, you got that weird T-Rex statue for some reason. We have that with artifacts that we have taken from each one of the albums we have done. I am suggesting we steal that diamond of his head.
So you're saying as part of the research and preparation, you want to collect a trophy or keepsake and keep it in a vault beneath our world headquarters so that you can go down and reminisce about each episode.
Yes, we can have it like a museum. Maybe we hire somebody to give tours on Tuesdays.
Make Kevin the docent?
Not him, but that's the right idea, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I wish you just said that up top. You could have saved everybody a bunch of time. That's a great idea. We should definitely do that. We are going to need to hire some new interns to go retroactively collect artifacts and trophies, as you like to call them, from the previous episodes.
I mean, we could hire them to do the episodes while we go back and pull off dangerous and risky heists.
Dangerous and needless heists?
I don't know if needless is the case.
It's going to take a while to build it, right? I mean, how big are we talking? Like airplane hangar?
Yeah, sure, of course. Something of that nature.
You have to be able to put a car in it.
Whose car?
I don't know yet.
Oh, I like this.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll toss it in Kevin's closet for the time being. staying until it's built.
Where's he gonna stay?
He can sleep on top of the pile of artifacts.
Listeners, let us know what keepsakes, mementos, trophies, gross Tim, should we go back and collect? What are the precious moments and material things that would fill the vault here at the world headquarters? It's going to take us a couple of months to get it built, but we want to know what should go in that vault.
Right. And I know somebody's going to write in and say an ear from each album. We're not doing that.
No physical body parts whatsoever. If you want to put a crow in a jar, great. If you want to get a bottle of crow-flavored whiskey, absolutely, taste the crow.
Send that to us. If you own one of those, you owe it to us. You send us that crow-flavored whiskey.
I think you and I could get it fairly easily.
Garrett, that's not fun. I don't actually want it.
You might not. I don't think you have a valid state ID anymore.
Yeah, also, I might not be 21.
No, you definitely are. You should know that.
Anyway, we should really get back to this music because...
Oh, Christ, yes. Dropped out as a 10th grader. Why chase a bitch when I got paper? So we established the fact that he did drop out, as you mentioned, Tim, due to several incidents, including the starting of a riot, which caused helicopters and a K-9 unit to arrive. So apparently he got to 5 stars in some sort of real-life Grand Theft Auto. Lunch lady, give me dirty Fago. Still riding dirty, even if my case closed. How did fucking Fago make its way into another episode?
Oh, I was shocked as well. Dirty Fago, though, is Fago with a little codeine in it.
Yeah, we should be clear. When we say drugs, we're talking mostly Molly, marijuana, and, of course, that scissor, that sweet, sweet purple drink. I'm talking about lean.
Couple other lines from this. Dropped out, and I ain't never had a job. Dropped out, knew I was gonna be a star. Dropped out, now I'm richer than your mom. Huh. Oh, all of these lines end with a wow or a yeah or a God, I hate this album, Garrett. Used to hotbox the bathroom at school. Go high every day. #1 rule. If you're going to be using drugs, don't have rules about them. Don't say you can't get high in certain times. Don't say you have to be high at certain times. It just ruins the fun. Just let be.
Yeah, that does seem odd. Let's add some rigor to this drug use. What do you say, guys? Guys,
Yeah.
I don't want to be a stickler, but I went to the refrigerator and somebody hasn't created the weekly drug calendar. It's Tuesday, Leonard, and I don't know. Am I supposed to be on promethazine? Am I taking Molly today? What am I doing? Okay, I got all this green here. I know I'm supposed to be high. I know it's supposed to be fucked up. It's 9 a.m. I should be out of my gourd. But on what? This is why we have rules.
Yep, it's important. We got 34 dropped outs. At least this song is just 2 minutes long. I think we've talked about it for well over 2 minutes at this point.
So let's keep it going. Track number 2.
Grandma so crack and she still in the hood. Told her at work cause all she do is cook. Learn how to sew crack before I learn to read a book.
We have this theme, and this is in almost every song in which the producers of the song, in this case being Danny and Nasogi, are announced.
Every single song opens with the announcement of who produced it. I drink a lot of lean. Ooh, pop a lot of pills. Brr. So you know I stay fucked up. Damn. Great. So in case you didn't gather from the first song, Tim, he likes that lean.
Genius Lyrics has a pretty good explanation of this song. They say, within this song, Lil Pump explores another wacky, zany facet of his popularity, stemming from his affluent ability to cook and push drugs. Lil Pump has now advanced into a popular rapper. With this song, he brags about his abilities in reference to drug pushing, averse to his academic failures, which in his eyes seem not to matter. This is all taken to a comical level, and it seems that Lil Pump revels in this. All of this is done in retrospect toward recent criticisms that his music is devoid of substance and only talks about drugs and girls. It is simply a pure parody of those who were haters, and to them, Lil Pump has only one thing to say. Nuh-uh.
Not just one thing, Tim. 36 things, to be precise.
But I mean, my argument would be, yeah-huh.
Correct.
Because this doesn't have anything to say either, and it is just about all those things.
Well, here's what's interesting is that description is implying that this is all a goof. The problem is, we live in 2019. I was able to cross-reference a lot of what he says in these songs with video evidence of exactly those things happening. So I put to you, Tim, while the lyrics are repetitive and boring as shit, he does not lie. Well, for the most part, what he is saying is just the shit that happened to him yesterday because nothing else goes on in his life and he has not a single thought. Because again, can't read.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for example, this song has get geeked up on a Sunday, crashed the Porsche, left it on the highway. First of all, don't admit to that. Second of all, this was all on Instagram. He put all of this on Instagram. Like he
smashed up a $70,000 car 24 hours after buying it.
He fled the scene, again, broadcasting this all on Instagram, and ended up getting sued for an alleged hit and run for a guy that was driving a Nissan Pathfinder that was injured in a car accident with this. Still do drugs on house arrest. It's just him describing his day.
Right. He's too young to have any real life experience, and judging by the history we read, nothing truly eventful happened. I'm sure it wasn't like the best childhood, but again, to your point, Tim, he's no Lil Wayne. He's a copy of a copy of a copy. He's watered down Tunchi.
He does have a single line in here. Well, a couple of lines. One, grandma sold crack and she's still in the hood. Admittedly, very, very cool, right? I think we can both agree on that. Told her ass work because all she do is cook. Learned how to sell crack before I learned how to read a book. Something interesting about that line is technically this would still be accurate if he had not yet learned to sell crack.
Well, sure, because that second thing just never happened.
Right.
I'm sure he can read a little, right?
I mean, I'm sure he can like put his Instagram password in.
Oh, yeah, probably, but that's not reading.
Maybe his Instagram password is a bunch of black dots. Like that's a button. That's like a special key, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Or as he says, from this side of the keyboard to this side.
From weak hand to strong hand side.
Yeah, I was going to say, how's he going to discern left from right? I'm his bodyguard, I'm his hype man, and I put a little L and I'll put a little R on the bottom of his shoe so he doesn't get confused.
Man, that must be a busy thing, because he also brags about the number of shoes he owns at one point in this album.
Oh, absolutely. And he's wearing those shoes, Tim. He's not buying them just to look at them.
No,
Constantly redrawing those L's and R's.
He's buying them to be looked at in them.
And reminding him which one the L goes on and which one the R goes on. Curiously, Tim, you would think it would just be one.
What do you mean?
Well, okay, let's say for an instance, you didn't know which shoe went on which foot. You'd ask, hey, which one does this go on? And I would tell you, right?
Sure. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right. The rest of the puzzle is solved. But every time. And this one?
Oh, poor Gazzy.
Don't you dare sympathize for this loser. Fuck this guy. Tim, I don't say this a lot. I wish ill will on him.
Oh.
Let me be more specific. He needs some life to really fuck up his day.
Garrett, he's probably going to be kidnapped to have jewelry stolen from him at some point.
Yeah.
And then that's going to be on you, because you wished it.
No, sure, I'll take credit.
Instead of just wishing it.
No, Tim, stop. Even if you just allude to the crime, they could still be used against you.
But that's all he's doing on this album, Garrett. He's listing crimes that he has done. He's listing times that he is violating his parole on this very song, and nothing happened.
He has better lawyers. We have Gino.
Oh, right. Never mind.
Track number 3, I Love It, featuring Kanye West.
K-Way.
Pastor West.
I buy you a sick truck. I buy you some new tits. I get you that nip tuck. How you start a family, the condoms.
This starts off with a sample, I guess, from Adele Gibbons' Def Jam comedy bit.
Yeah, and it's mostly just about the evolution of women's strength in a relationship going from merely just getting fucked to demanding, you better make me come.
After
Ladies,
dark.
we appreciate the heads up.
After dark?
Is it?
Yeah, Garrett, I think in media today, a man can be seen having pleasure from some sort of sexual scenario, but legally, or at least in some sort of broadcasting standard way, if a woman is shown to have any sort of pleasure, or even if that is recognized, you gotta say after dark. It's not fair, I don't agree with it, but these are our standards.
And what it could be a state level, one of those leftover ridiculous blue laws, like you can't buy liquor before this time and you have to say after dark because women are sinners.
Right.
Oh, Texas.
Their nipples are more offensive than yours.
That's right. You know why?
Because they're not
Me either.
tiny. Your nipples are so small.
What are you saying?
They're little.
My nipples are the exact correct diameter for the size of my body.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is a God made me this way. This is what you're gonna do.
No, I'm saying that I've measured them and they match the appropriate ratio.
You're gonna need to let me check your
those
work.
nerps. No, I'm not going to let you check my work. I Fibonacci those nerps. You take my word for it. It is the exact correct natural ratio. Have you measured my You know what? Never mind. This is just inviting a problem. Speaking of inappropriate topics, this song, Tim, and its accompanying music video, which we will get into, were debuted at the inaugural Pornhub Awards in Los Angeles. Kanye served as co-creative director of the event after he expressed his extreme pleasure with the website Pornhub on Jimmy Kimmel.
Right. He also got a free lifetime membership.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Tim, why does anyone need a membership to any pornography site in 2019?
I don't know.
What does that get you?
I don't know. Maybe something great, though. I mean, why else else would anyone shell out money for this?
I have no idea. Folks, if you're a little confused, let's just suffice it to say there is plenty of pornography on the internet that does not cost money.
Yes, also on the very site that we are discussing.
Right. I've heard.
Right, allegedly. We're not going to sell them out as pornographers. Filthy business.
But the point is, like, what are people needing more out of the pornography experience that is not available in the millions of hours of free pornography?
I don't know. Maybe it's this newfangled virtual reality stuff.
I think that's on there too. Maybe it's like customized, bespoke pornography.
I don't know what that means. And by that, I mean there are two words in that sentence that I do not understand.
You're such a fucking hoe. I love it.
I love it.
He loves his girlfriend, who is apparently a hoe. And in this, Tim, a hoe is...
I think she is just somebody that will let you bang them.
Is it a casual banging or a long-term relationship with a woman who's down to do whatever?
Well, I think it's a casual relationship because this lady is not banging him. He says, "You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. I love it. I'm a fuck a bitch. Tell her cousin. Your boyfriend is a dork. McLovin. So she's dating somebody else. He's just banging her."
That's a good point, Tim. Great pickup.
So he's saying he's going to bang her, or if she's not available, cousin or sister will do.
In fact, he follows up by saying, "Fucked that bitch out in London. Then I fucked up on her cousin. Or her sister. I don't know nothing."
Doesn't matter.
Well, we do know, Tim, in July of 2018, Lil Pump did perform at the UK premiere urban music show, and it was during this performance that Pump stopped mid-song to help a fan suffering from a seizure in the crowd. So he's not all bad. Also, I'm going to guess that he's not entirely unfamiliar with people randomly seizing, given the amount of lean that he seems to consume.
Yeah, in that one specific situation, he is the doctor. He has the most expertise. He knows what to do.
Boy, that's confusing, because no doctor would ever attend a Lil Pump concert, right?
Right, so he's the only one, where everything here is on his shoulders.
Good God, that's terrifying.
All this water on my neck, water being jewelry, looked like I fell when I went fishing. So much diamonds on my bust down. Ooh fuck, what's the time? Where we at? Me and Smoke Perp, sippin' drank. Ooh fuck, she take lines. So he is okay with drank, but he's not quite comfortable with the cocaine.
Well, that's interesting, Tim. I am familiar with, obviously, water on my neck, diamonds. Great. I'm even familiar with the term now, diamonds on my bust down, because now the bust down can be just a really nice piece of jewelry. I know it more to be a customized piece of already expensive jewelry that you then have even more diamonds put on. That's how I understand a bust down to be. But then we get to, ooh, fuck, she take lines. This is not a slang word. Nobody has ever said this, right?
What's the slang word you're confused by?
I'm not confused. What I'm saying is this asshole's trying to create new slang by saying she take lines.
Well, the she take, I agree with, but lines, of course.
Well, sure, doing lines.
Yeah.
I'm saying, though, hey, you want to go do some lines? Obviously, you want to go do some cocaine. Hey, you want to go take some lines? Unless you're a Finnish exchange student. Hey, check it out. I just got an 8-ball. You want to go take some lines?
I like that.
No,
I do,
well,
though.
Of course you do. Well, sure,
I
from
will
that
follow
guy.
that Dane into that bathroom, Garrett. No questions asked.
Okay. I have so many questions.
No questions asked.
Fair enough. You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. Sings Kanye out of nowhere. I had not seen their performance of this song on SNL. Had you seen it before this?
No.
Did you watch it this time?
I did, yeah.
It's ridiculous. They're dressed as water bottles. Scoop.
I'm a sick fuck. I like a quick fuck. Whoop. I'm a sick fuck. I like a quick fuck. Whoop. Etc. I like my dick sucked. I'll buy you a sick truck. I'll buy you some new tits. I'll get you that nip tuck. How do you start a family? The condom slipped.
I believe most of this. Does he like his dick sucked? Probably. Will he buy someone a sick truck if they do a good job? I could see that. Is he buying tits? Well, we know that. We know nipping and tucking has occurred for various people that he has had a relationship with, but this condom business.
I think at this point in his career, K-Way is very careful with the old condom.
That's actually a really good point.
He is taking it with him, assuming that he is cheating on his terrible wife.
The NBA policy?
Yeah.
Tie it off, visibly flush it, or bring it with you. I don't know. Kanye just doesn't strike me as a condom man, but that is an interesting question because Lil Pump doesn't strike me as a planning for anything man, but he's worth a good amount of cash now, so you would think he wouldn't want to just be dumping loads left, right, and center without a little bit of prep.
Dark.
What part?
The dumping loads.
Oh, okay, yeah, you know what? I didn't even catch it. Good catch, Tim. Anyway, so he's just dropping loads in whores left, right, and center, and I use that as an affectionate term. You're playing a dangerous game. Instantly, boom, half your money going to support some random child from some stripper. I like hearing stories. I like that hoe shit. Kanye likes a good sexy story.
He's the sort of person that he's sitting there riding in his car, he's got his entourage around him, and he just picks one of them. He's like, hey, tell me a sexy story. story. And that guy
Wait,
has
he's
to...
getting an off-the-top-of-the-head erotic tale from his entourage.
Yes.
And he just listens quietly?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what kind of man
You
he
know
is.
a lot about what happens up to that moment.
Did you watch the music video?
I sure did. So they're just walking down a hallway, and they're dressed as giant block people?
Apparently, they're supposed to look like characters in a video game called Roblox.
Yes, but it's important to distinguish that it is merely an homage, not so legally similar that they owe anyone money.
Right.
But along the walls are spaces where you may typically see like a large vase or decorative art piece placed. But instead, Tim, you tell me if I've got it right. They are women prostrated with their hands bound behind their back, possibly in body stockings without faces.
And yeah, you can kind of see them moving occasionally in the background. This was produced or co-produced by Spike Jonze.
Of course.
So I guess this is where he went from Weezer music videos. And then it got 76 million views the first week on YouTube, which I believe is still a record for an opening week on YouTube for a hip-hoppery music video. I guess that's something that just gets measured now.
Tim, I'm going to say something that you're not going to agree with, and I don't care. I think Kanye West is legitimately funny in this music video.
He's fine in this. Again, he is not my problem with any of this. Some of the things he says, maybe, but...
Okay, maybe. But there is a moment, so as they're walking down this long hallway full of sex slaves, they're following the comedian that they sampled up top. They're essentially singing to her. And there are moments in the song when Kanye's rapping that he can tell that the woman is into what he's saying, and then he goes too far, and she like turns around, she's like, bitch, what did you just fucking say? And it's all in a look. You see him literally like immediately look to the ground and then look away like, oh, I was just kidding. It legitimately made me laugh. Also was dancing. They're in these giant block suits. They're basically the size of a couch. And Kanye West manages to artfully dance. So Kanye, I can't stand you. And I think that there may be a point at which the National Guard is brought in to conquer your Montana compound. But if you want to dress like a giant block man and dance around, I might go watch that.
Here's the thing about the National Guard, Garrett. They go into that complex, they're coming out K-Way heads. It's just...
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's going to be like the Thing. He's just going to keep subsuming everyone that comes close.
He's like the Borg or Venom.
Yeah.
Venom.
Ugh. We need to start moving faster.
Yep.
From this point, the songs are no better and they are the same topic, so we can maybe try to skirt a little bit around that.
I think you're right.
But yeah,
let's do
so
it.
Track number 4, Ion, featuring Smoke Perp.
I pop beans, I don't eat food. Bitch, give me top like a drop top coupe. I sit bleeding in my classroom. Ask my teacher.
Why does rap have to introduce every producer every time? No one cares.
I think the reason is if you have like a 3-piece like rock band, they're the ones making the music. Whereas here,
okay.
the main artist is really the producer. He's the one that's actually created this song, and then this guy's just rapping over it and putting his name on it.
Yeah, that's a good point. And he's trying to fill time, so what better way than to just introduce every single producer?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some of the words here. Your bitch give me top like a drop top coupe. Tim, have we heard give me top? And I assume this is some sort of fellatio.
I assume so, yes. I don't think it's been in any album yet.
We've heard brain,
Oh, yeah.
but I've not heard top.
So it's probably some sort of fellatio, but it could theoretically be anything from the waist up, I think.
What?
Anything from the waist up.
What does that mean?
Well, doesn't matter what they use to get you there as long as it is waist up. That's still
I
considered
see.
top. Or maybe he is saying that she is his top. I don't know. I don't know, Karen.
Yeah, I would simply say it could be anything done from the top position.
Oh.
So he might have gotten top. Boy. Anywho, Tim, we get weirdly racial in this song. Pump says, perp getting money like a Jew. This is not needed, right?
It's not. Several places on this album get a little weirdly racial. It sticks out at you. It's weird.
I don't need you. I don't need school. I pop beans. I don't eat food. What are beans?
Pills.
Oh, that's very obvious. God damn it. Tim, is he 2018's Eminem?
No.
Because
No, he's
let me
not.
read some lines. I was on house arrest. Then I got out and I hopped on a private jet. Got your bitch pussy wet. Got your bitch pussy soaked like a waterbed. Wow. Obviously, this is in jest. He is joking around. Now, granted, he was on house arrest. Then he got out and did in fact hop on a private jet. Now, whether or not he got your bitch pussy wet, I don't know, and certainly not like a waterbed. But this is mildly reminiscent of the playful ridiculousness of Marshall Mathers. The big difference, the most important difference, Tim, this guy has no talent.
Yeah, and he's got some other weird lines. You pop 1 bean, I pop 5 because I got high tolerance.
Well, this is a very common trend through the whole album. Bragging about things most people people try to hide.
Oh yeah, bragging about things that you could get arrested for because you are on probation.
This guy does not understand how bragging works.
Anyway, let's be done with this song.
Track number 5, Faux Show,
Featuring Offset.
aka Mr. Cardi B.
Stand on the table, I'll make it rain. Damn. We with your wife, we just ran a train. Want so much Molly, I think I damaged my brain.
Right up top, one small difference with this song. Not only are the lyrics dumb, for some odd reason he sounds incredibly out of breath on this song.
Yeah, it's weird. I will say, I don't hate the piano that plays throughout.
I think it's great.
I mean, you probably won't believe this. In fact, you're probably going to give me a slap for this. This song is about drugs, wealth, and banging.
You are going to have to prove your case, counselor.
McLaren with a butterfly doors. I'm 17 and I just made the Forbes. Call up them hoes, faux show. Don't pay for pussy, faux show. No, I don't want her. She ugly and broke. I mean, it's cruel, but I understand. He doesn't want to have sex with a poor woman, or at least a poor woman that is also ugly. I don't know if he will make an exception for one of those things.
I'm betting he will.
I gave your daughter some coke.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it seems like a weird thing to just throw in here.
Pump, we have an agreement. You are never to be alone with my daughter.
Garrett?
Yeah?
Do you have a daughter?
Oh, no. Oh, God, no.
There's another thing in this. He seems to like cyber sex. Is that the thing?
I don't think anyone's called it that in 20 years, but what are you talking about?
She show her pussy on Skype. Chia.
Man, I gotta tell you, Tim, when I read that line, I really reflected on the fact that you and I are incredibly lucky that this did not exist when we were in high school. I totally would have shown my pussy on Skype. I guarantee you, this must happen. Some not kind person in high school would find it very funny to trick a young man into thinking he is having the cyber sex with a hot young lady, only to videotape it and email it out to everybody in his grade. Could you imagine that?
Well, see, here's the problem with that. It's a real risk because technically in that moment you are creating child pornography.
Well, let's assume they're 18.
Oh, okay.
They're seniors in high school. I mean, it is fucked up. I'm not saying do it. I'm saying don't do it. I'm saying thank God this didn't exist. But if some malicious young man in your grade thought it'd be really funny to get you to do that and then email it to everybody, you could do that.
Yeah, back in your day, it had to be a one-on-one kind of thing. You had to wait until your daughter had put a mask over a young boy's face or had painted his face or something.
What are you saying?
And he was laying there with an erection and couldn't open his eyes.
Right. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Tim, I 100% put myself into a situation where I was unable to see who was witness to my sexual act.
Yeah, or who was participating in this sexual act.
Technically,
Clearly,
yes.
her father.
I maintain to this day it was not.
Yeah, I know you maintain that.
Why would it be?
I nut in every bitch. I got like 8 babies, so I guess we get that question answered.
But he doesn't.
You don't know.
Sure, it's a secret, and I feel like there'd be a lot of lawyers clarifying it if he did.
Well, you'd think there'd be a lot of lawyers clarifying like, hey, he wasn't really high on probation. He wasn't really high on house arrest. Again, Warner Brothers does not seem to have the best legal team.
Yeah, not in-house.
We with your wife, we just ran a train. Popped so much Molly, I think I damaged my brain.
Yeah, probably.
Sipping on drank while I switch lanes. Here we get, I guess not drinking and driving, but opiates and driving.
Worse.
Shoddy wanna know how my dick taste. Woo. Dick slap a bitch. It's a good day.
Yeah, it kind of summarizes the album.
Yeah, again, we don't need to do all these songs.
He says, I got 20 bitches, I got 20 pints. And at first I didn't understand that these were pints of lean because I didn't understand that scissor was sold by the pint.
Yeah, I was assuming at first that he just liked drinking, but that's not the case.
Well,
it's not old enough
that's
to
what
drink.
really made me laugh. Let me compliment the rap culture right here and right now. Never once have I ever heard a rapper go on and on about their favorite microbrew. And you know what? Those of you who do can save it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you don't know, Garrett. There might be a whole subgenre of rap that's about the perfect ratio of Faygo to codeine or something like that.
Oh, they're connoisseurs of lean?
Yeah.
I can't imagine another band talking more about scissor than this band.
This is not a band.
I don't know what it is.
It's a guy that's just rambling about nonsense. Track number 6, Racks on Racks.
Racks on racks, bitch. Racks on racks on racks on racks on racks on racks, bitch. None of my cars ain't running.
This song just blatantly steals from another song.
Which song?
The Alien by Ben Salisbury and Jeff Barrow from the official soundtrack to the hit movie Annihilation. It literally just takes music from that soundtrack, and they never paid a dime, and the only thing that has ever been said about it is Jeff Barrow went on to Instagram to be like, hey, I just want everybody to know we didn't give anybody rights to do this, and we don't want any money, we don't care, but we do want you to know we hate this guy, his music is trash, and everything he says is insulting, so fuck him.
Fair enough. Racks on racks on racks on racks on racks on racks on racks, bitch.
Did not know a rack was $1,000 until this week.
He at least says Matt Black correctly, though.
Yes, we don't have a Billy Ray Cyrus Matty Black.
Fuck a bitch once, say now I'm finished, pop 2 perks, now I don't feel it. I guess he's talking about how high his tolerance is, which is good, I guess.
Sure, but what do you make of this fuck a bitch once then I'm finished? Why can he not return to the bitch for a second fucking?
He gets bored with it, Garrett. He has so many ladies, he can just discard one after he has...
Just disposable women.
Yes, I assume there's some sort of compactor under his kitchen sink, just squeezes them into a cube for easy disposal.
My God, I don't think he has some sort of H.H. Holmes House of Terror.
It's a weird reference, but yeah.
Not really. You're talking about a trash compactor full of women.
I fuck a bitch in my Versace sandals, got a new bando, look like a castle. Told the bitch, let me sniff coke off her asshole. And Garrett, I don't want to be a prude.
Don't.
But don't snort a bunch of coke off of... I mean, it's going into your sinuses, right? This has been on somebody's asshole. This is coke with asshole on it. So if you're in this situation, if somebody has a bunch of coke on their asshole and they are saying, come on, sniff this off, scoop it into your hand, go to the sink, wash it off first, and then do it.
Or at a bare minimum, only snort the cocaine that is sitting on top of the cocaine that is making contact with the asshole.
Right, because you do not want little flecks of poop in your sinuses.
I mean, in that situation, Tim, it would actually be safer for you to just eat that cocaine.
Yeah, at the very least, you're getting pink eye is the point. Again,
Absolutely.
I don't want to sound like a prude, but this is medically unsound advice that he is giving.
I think, Tim, it may play into the reason why he never returns to any of these bitches that he is fucking. I think that he is possibly just terrible at sex.
That could be. It's all about cocaine and assholes with him.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, let's have some intercourse. I've got a big old pile of cocaine. Don't worry, got plenty of money. Feel free to use as much as you want. So just pour that all over your butthole, and I'll be back in just a second. I got to go put on a robe.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to go, because not a single thing you've said is what I consider to be intercourse. I think it's important to probably move on, because fuck this.
Track number 7, Off-White.
I lost my six. Ooh, where Carly at? Ooh, where the party at?
It's a song about drugs. Can you believe it?
Yes, and it seems to be named after a clothing company.
Yeah, Off-White is fascinating to me because I learned about them about a year ago. They do collaborations or collabs, not collabos, with other more established brands. And I like some of their shit. I don't know if you spent any time looking at it.
No.
But it is insanely expensive. Like, I don't give a shit. Give me a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. Great.
You look great the way you are, by the way.
Okay, I didn't ask. There are 22 Off-Whites in here, so if you're wondering what's the content of the song, he really likes Off-White.
He mentions his dyslexia in this song. I'm dyslexic, but I rap.
Yeah,
okay.
This is him laying that groundwork, the excuse for when he finally admits on this fucking album that he cannot read.
Yes.
Maybe the most uncomfortable lyric on this whole album is when he declares that he really wants to fuck iCarly.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you went back into his Twitter feed any.
Yeah.
6/22/2017. I want to fuck iCarly. 11/15/2017. Still want to fuck iCarly. Cool, man.
Here's the thing. So he calls her iCarly,
Yes.
right?
Her name is
I didn't
Miranda
know what-
Cosgrove.
Right. Miranda Cosgrove. I was like, all right, who's this chick? So I look her up. Great. Then I look up iCarly. And this is a show, Tim, of tweens.
Oh, yeah. It is not appropriate.
If he only knows her as iCarly and not Miranda Cosgrove, chances are he came to the conclusion that he wants to fuck iCarly while watching iCarly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a problem here. I think this man has revealed too much. Although, technically now he has since messaged that he no longer wants to have sex with iCarly.
Oh, good for him. I guess.
Don't compliment him.
Oh, okay.
What's wrong with you?
Track number 8, Butterfly Doors.
Space coupe look like a UFO. Smoking on dope. Damn. They call me
I don't know if you looked into the history of the edits made to this song.
Oh, yeah.
This originally contained a bunch of weird slurs against Asians.
Well, I am curious to get your opinion on this, Tim. I guess you may have already given it. So on the album, there's the line, smoking on dope. They call me Yao Ming, only they bleep out the Ming. They just drop it out. They call me Yao blank because my eyes real low. Pouring up fours, smoking on dope. Okay, so he's all fucked up, right? Mm-hmm. Originally, though, they would say the whole line, they call me Yao Ming because my eyes real low, with a ching chong at the end.
Yes.
And then several people called him out after he released this as a clip on Instagram saying it was incredibly insensitive, if not overtly racist, right?
Right.
This was what, Aquafina, China Mac, probably some others I don't remember.
Yeah.
So let me put it to you, Tim. This is an earnest question. I have no opinion. I want to know. I guess the implication is that all Asian language to him sounds like ching chong, right?
Sure.
All Russian people speaking to me sound like they are having a savage argument.
Well, they are.
Interesting. All German people speaking to me sound like sinister supervillains.
Well, they are.
Okay. So
I think
if both of those things, oh, I see, everything I'm listing is real.
Yes. Part of the problem is ching chong has been historically used as a sort of a racial epithet to Asians. The other thing that really confuses me is, though, they call me Yao Ming because my eyes real low. I don't think that's an actual Asian slur. I think it's just an insult to Yao Ming specifically. The man's got a big forehead.
He does have a big forehead.
So
that's racist aside. That guy's just he's got a 5 head.
Right, but here's the problem. They censor out his last name only. So now it's, they call me Yao because my eyes real low. It seems like it makes it more racist because if you censor out the Ming, then it stops becoming about a single person, and now Yao is sort of a stand-in for generic Asian people instead of having that targeted against a specific individual. Like, it seems like it only makes it worse.
I feel like most people should just say, hey, this is dumb. Let's not put any attention or time into it and let him slowly waste away.
Chinese rappist Lil Yizhi, part of the government-sponsored rappist group CD Rev, he made a diss track called Fuck Lil Pump as a result. And then there's a Chinese government-sponsored tabloid that had a quote, and he said, as a rapper, I'm ashamed with what Lil Pump wrote in his song. Lil Pump, one of the most popular rappers in the US, should not humiliate the spirit of rap. And then, Lil Pump apologized and said, I apologize for posting that. It was not my intention to hurt nobody or do none of that, dead ass. Because I got Asian homies, I fuck with everybody.
Did he just bow to the Chinese government?
Yes, that's the thing. He's in show business, I guess, so he knows, you know what? Chinese sales are important.
He loves money.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a couple of Genius Lyrics takes on this, because they are very pissed on that website that they took the ching chong part out of the song.
Interesting.
Dexter said, the ching chong ad lib was fire. Too bad he removed it. Stop calling things fire. What's happening? Salt Boy said, honestly, that's not even that racist. People with no clout hating for attention. Rappers been comparing eyelids to Asian eyes for years. So he did make it a little racist, right?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. God damn you and your Genius Lyrics. I found this quaint. I'm gonna go back selling Nicks at the Citgo. Now, I knew what a Citgo was, but I didn't know what Nicks were, so I looked it up. $5 bag of marijuana.
Yep.
Marijuana is sold in quantities as little as $5.
Oh, yes. Garrett.
That's fascinating.
There are those of us who only get our money from what other people leave around the house, or maybe if somebody leaves their wallet around, what we can take without anyone noticing. Now, I say we is more of the royal
like
we.
A royal we.
Yeah.
No one specific. No one named Tim Richardson.
Right. He also has in this song, I ran out of drink, so I canceled my show. I presume that means he does not have opiates, and so he's going through opiate withdrawal and is unable to perform. I piss on these racks on the floor. Oh, I looked into that one. And I watched actually an Instagram post where he pisses on a bunch of cash. He walks down a flight of stairs. He throws, it's 100,000 euros.
Or pounds. Thought I saw a queen on there.
I think it's euros because he brags about how he's from Florida but gets to be in London to perform, and then he pisses on this money. And then later he's just like, oh, sorry, not London, Paris. He doesn't know the difference, I guess.
Well, someone's got to tell him because can't look at a map, can't read.
That's true.
Who tells him which airplane is his? Oh, I guess when you're flying private. private. It's the one that's there.
I think he just follows guys. He knows what his friend looks like.
Just like a flock of birds. He just sits in the middle and just kind of gets nudged in the right direction. He does reference the old Gucci Mane, Tim. He says, I feel like old Gucci, bitch. I'm burnt and I'm froze. I'm burnt. This is allegedly a reference to the fact that Gucci Mane's style before his release from jail in 2016 was a lot more gregarious. But since he's gotten out of jail, he has lost a bunch of weight. He has dramatically decreased his drug use and is taking a more mainstream appeal. And this new Gucci is so different, Tim, that there are theories online. You go on 4chan, you go on 8chan, and there are theories that the new Gucci's a clone.
Oh, I like that. I like
Clone
all sorts of
Gucci.
clone theories. I like all sorts of 4chan and 8chan theories. I like Reddit when it gets its information exclusively from 4 or 8chan. I don't know about this story.
Yeah, who's
I
to say,
think
right?
a normal person, if you go to jail, that will change your outlook on life a little bit. If you go to jail for more than 2 weeks.
Under 2 weeks, you're not going to change a thing?
This guy didn't.
Yeah, that's true. How's he going to learn? He doesn't know how to read.
That's true.
Track number 9, Too Much Ice, featuring Quavo.
Put a little bitch on a molly. Bitch, she wanna show me her titties. McLaren, the Benz, the Bentley.
This song is fire.
Go to hell.
That's fair.
Guess what, Tim? He's got too much jewelry.
Or crystal methamphetamine.
Oh, that's a good point. He says, 2 bust downs, yeah, I feel like Charlie Sheen. Now, Tim, I think this is the most offensive line on the entire album, and I'll tell you why. How dare this little pissant compare himself to the drug-fueled antics of one Charlie Sheen? So this guy's pissing on cash, he's getting arrested occasionally, he's firing guns into his door, which, I mean, I would argue, what's his face? Famed record producer, Wall of Sound creator, Phil Spector was putting guns in ladies' mouths when you were in short pants, kiddo. But Charles fucking Sheen, I can't even imagine these two together. Like, I'm just like you, Charlie. Oh yeah? Hey kid, you ever inject heroin directly into your penis because you put too much cocaine in your eyes? That's what I did.
Oh.
You know that scene in The Dark Knight when the Joker slides down a pile of cash before he sets it all on fire? Based on me. Only I did it in a $42 million Malibu mansion. I didn't even stick around. I just bought the next house I woke up in.
I like this
man is
Charlie
a-
Sheen. It's better than the one that went around giving people HIV.
It's the same Sheen.
For our younger listeners, I know he's a little bit older now, but he is still an attractive man. Do not have sex with Charlie Sheen.
No, that's great advice. Tim, I don't typically agree with you about much anything, but yeah, don't have sex with Charlie Sheen. Oh, look at the ice on me, dripping ice. Pocket look like I do fitness, woo. This is my first introduction to Quavo, and I gotta say, Quavo, you're not great at rapping.
Nope.
This does not make me want to listen to Migos.
Nope. He also seems to have the exact same interests as Lil Pump.
For sure. It's all about that ice. It's all about that Molly. And this is interesting. I think they may be trading sex for drugs. They say, put that little bitch on Molly, bitch. She want to show me her titties. Yeah.
Well, see, Garrett, that is not trading drugs for sex. That is drugging somebody and then looking at their breasts.
See, I think it's more of a series of complex codes. So I'm a famous rapist.
Yep.
I meet a young lady. She seems to be into me. So I make the first move. You want to show me them titties? If she says yes, I know the door is open to some serious action. And that is when I'm going to supply her with my drugs so that we can both enjoy the experience more. You want to be on the same level for something like that.
Yeah, that
I
makes sense.
suspect if she gets a no up top and she doesn't want to show him them titties, he's just saved himself a little bit of Molly for somebody else who will.
Perhaps he carries around a squirt bottle with Molly in it and just squirt her in the
Liquid
mouth
Molly?
a little bit. Oh, yeah.
He's just dissolved a bunch of pills in some,
Yeah.
and put it in a super soaker.
Yeah, a little squirt for you, a little squirt for me.
I mean, entirely possible. How he administers the Molly isn't necessarily my concern. I'm just more interested in how he doles it out. Titties? Yes. Come on the bus. Have some Molly. Titties? No. Get the fuck out of here.
Titties, no. Squirt, squirt, squirt.
Oh, I see. Now I understand why it's a water gun. It's assault.
Yeah, exactly. Trappin', wrap it up, send it, wrap it up. So again, we have some safe sex talk here, or possibly just don't let any of those bitches, their words, not mine,
No, that's about drug sales too.
Oh.
He's in a trap house wrapping drugs.
make more money than your dad. Yeah, make more money than your dad. Ooh.
I love that line because because that is a perfect reflection of this kid's age. That is an insult you hurl at somebody on a playground.
Absolutely.
My dad makes more money than your dad.
And
what? Why would he care?
Yeah, robbing the
now.
bank, no mask. Again, for our younger listeners, if you rob a bank, and this should in no way serve as our official recommendation to do so, but if you do rob a bank, wear a goddamn mask.
It's the least you could do.
Yes.
If you really want to try to, not go to jail for the rest of your life, maybe some gloves would be a good idea.
Yep. Maybe kill everyone in there.
No.
No, again, we're saying don't do this, but no witnesses, a lot harder to get tracked down.
Hypothetically, yes, but don't do any of these things. Jesus Christ, Tim, you open us up to so much liability every week. Track number 10, multimillionaire.
My housemate is super thick. She finna go clean my house. Then she finna suck my dick.
Tim, this is my first exposure to Lil Uzi Vert.
Wasn't a good one?
I do not care for it, no. The whole album is summed up in 2 lines in this song. Ooh took 30 bands out to buy some pints. Got your baby mama off a Tesla and she's sniffing white. We got money, we got scissor, we got fucking a stranger, and we got reference to the material things which help to secure sex with a stranger.
Yes. Yeah, well, the next one, I got hungry for some Wingstop, so I took a flight. Wants you to let you know he is rich enough to get on an airplane to have Wingstop.
A private airplane, which he then Instagrammed live the entire event.
Yeah.
Now, Tim, Austin has a Wingstop. I have been to a Wingstop. Have you patronized a Wingstop?
I have.
I do not get his love for this chicken.
Oh, it's so good, Garrett. Oh my God. The thing you got to do, you got to get the boneless wings.
Are you serious right now?
No.
Oh, okay. Wait, I think you might be.
No.
Is it good? I don't remember it being good at all.
No, I'm
All right,
embarrassed.
I can't. My God, man. You gotta have some backbone here. My housemaid is super thick, huh? She fitting to go clean my house, huh? Then she fitting to suck my dick. He's got some sort of prostitute maid?
Yeah.
Did you ever hear of topless maids, Tim?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this was a service out in Los Angeles. You could get your house clean, you give them a call, come on over and clean your house, and they did the entire thing topless.
They do it in Austin, too.
Really?
Yeah, every Tuesday.
Only difference? All men.
Yeah. It's less exciting, but still pretty exciting.
It seems like I've never purchased this service, but it would be taking the awkwardness of a lap dance and removing the poor lighting, the music, the skeezy atmosphere, making it at least remotely appropriate, and replacing it with cleaning products, the bright of day, and my living room?
Yeah.
This is not sexy.
It's not. Or it's very sexy and then it's creepy.
Right. Like, what's your end game here? Like, all right, I'm just going to follow you around the house while you clean, I guess.
Yeah.
What percentage of these guys that would actually pay the money to have a woman come over and clean their house topless aren't jaying off while they're there?
Oh, dear. And that's just
right?
more for her to clean up.
Oh my God, it's an endless cycle.
It's never getting out of there. Is everyone a lull now? Like, should I be Lil Low T for Texas Toast?
Ooh, maybe.
Little Low T?
You're too old to be a little.
I don't know, though. I'm kind of Lil.
Yeah, you're kind of little.
Hey.
Exactly 2 inches shorter than Tom Cruise.
No, that is not true. You take that back. We are not progressing.
Tim, I've
we
seen
are
you
not
next to that cardboard cutout, and he seems to loom over you by exactly 2 inches.
We will not continue this album until you take that back.
Smash that bitch 2 times. I ain't know.
Garrett, I am not shorter than Tom Cruise. That's not funny. He
Exactly
is a
2
tiny
inches.
man. He is 5'7".
Okay.
Is it
Making
possible
you
that the cardboard cutout we have in our living room is taller because everyone else in his movies are constantly standing in holes so that he looks like he is a tall man?
I think they use more apple boxes than holes these days, because then if they want to move around, they got to dig a trench.
Helps
God,
for
what if
blocking.
they just strap little boxes to his feet?
That's certainly possible. My point, though, is that I am not 5'5".
I don't know how to explain it to him. Maybe he's got lifts on in the picture. I can't tell.
Maybe they just made the picture bigger, Garrett. It doesn't have to be.
I don't know. I just came home one day and there was a cardboard cutout of Tom Cruise. You explain it.
I know why it's here.
I know why it's here. I don't know where it came from or who made it. I assumed you.
I didn't make it.
I'm willing to revise my statement so that we can move on with the show. You are at least exactly the same height as Tom Cruise.
All right. I'll take it. God damn it.
But probably shorter.
No, but
by exactly 2
significantly
inches.
taller than Tom Cruise. Come on. You are old.
Good try. I have nothing to say about Lil Uzi Vert other than his lyrics might be so bad that we can never do an album by him.
That's true. He does say, I could fuck your bitch in a chair, let's go.
There's a few different points in this album album where people specifically ask for sexual acts to take place in a chair. Is this a novelty? Are there chair people out there?
Oh, absolutely, Garrett. If there's an object, there's a person that's into that object.
Seatless bicycle.
Yep.
Lawn chair with the bottom missing.
Yep. And I'll tell you who those two people are. Blink-182 and Daniel Craig, respectively.
He does like to have his taint and balls savagely beaten with a rope.
Fun fact about Daniel Craig, he would only do the movie if they included that scene.
He also insisted that they do it for real so that he could get an authentic performance.
It was a great performance. You really believed.
Looked like a baboon afterwards. Swollen genitals. Purple.
Jesus Christ.
British After Dark. After Dark. Track number 11. Vroom, vroom, vroom.
I got two prostitutes with me after falling blue. She said that she never seen a chain like
So now our track titles are just onomatopoeia. This has to go on the list if it's not already there.
If it isn't, for sure. Let's get it out there. Boy, I don't have much to say here, Tim.
Let me start us off then. Vroom, 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 vroom. Bitch, convertible coupe, yeah. She gon' flash her titties, flash 'em out the roof, yeah. Scoot, 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 scoot. She gonna fuck the crew.
Great. So he's got a nice car and a woman who's going to have sex with him and a lot of his friends.
Well, scoot, 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 scoot.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either, but it seems important.
Okay. I got a vroom count, Tim. Did you get a vroom count?
I did. There's 60 vrooms. There are only 16 scoots. And I would argue you could improve this song simply if you even out the vrooms and scoots just a little bit. If you had 38 vrooms and 38 scoots, not a great song, but a better song.
I can't disagree at all.
Okay, then let me ask you this. What do you think the ideal ratio of vrooms to scoots is?
I think it's not 1-to-1. I want more vrooms than scoots. I think it's 3-to-1. For every 3 vrooms, I want a scoot. You get it down to 3-to-1, it's a better song.
Okay, so you want more scoots.
Yes, more scoots. Ideally, less vrooms as well,
okay.
though.
Yeah.
Let's take the vrooms down. God, what the fuck are we talking about, Tim? The
Bitch.
quality of this show has been dramatically diminished by this asshole.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. Whipping a baby bowl. We cheat some. My wrist look like virus. In the trap selling clap, they call me your highness. What in the fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
Whipping a baby bowl. We cheat some. My wrist look like virus. I don't know.
I don't know.
know.
That's a white bitch. Look like Miley Cyrus. Miley bitch.
Well, I at least know what that means. Fucking a bitch that looks like Miley Cyrus. God, this guy has really ruined this episode for me.
The guy we're talking about?
Correct. Track number 12, Be Like Me, featuring Lil Wayne.
Everybody wanna go and smash Kim K. Ooh, yeah. You could talk shit about me every day.
This is clearly inspired by and admitted to being influenced by the real Slim Shady.
Okay.
They said that they were kind of going for that feel. They liked the song and they wanted to do one kind of like it. The song opens with Lil Pump saying, a lot of people trying to be like me. You know you can't be like me. Now, to you, Tim, is Lil Pump saying that about other people? Or is this really Lil Wayne saying this about Lil Pump?
I think that Lil Pump has recognized that he is modeling himself, albeit several layers removed, after Lil Wayne. And so he's trying to impress Lil Wayne by saying, no, there's a bunch of people that want to be like me too.
That's a good point. And Tim, did you read about the Lil Pump marketing plan?
Yes, it's the company has now spread it to other artists, I believe.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know if it was a record label or a marketing or marketing team. In any event, there are record labels now that are using what is known as the Lil Pump plan in order to promote and release new music by internet stars. And Tim, it's a simple 10-step program that guarantees transforming a local rapper or minor celebrity into a meme and then a viral sensation using a set of proven marketing tricks and tactics. These tactics may include social media influencer campaign, memeing the artist, TikTok placements, world star promotions, and something called controversy projects, which seems to mean fake feuds between artists, something you and I have been contending for some time. So I want to say, one, there's a good chance that you and I have been ripped off here. If so, we will expect a check any day now. But two, I thought the one thing I could say kindly about Mr. Pump is that yes, I hate him. Yes, his music sucks, but he is authentic. He is a crazy person. He embodies the rock and roll punk spirit of rebellion and don't give a fuckitude that we've seen from Jim Morrison to Axl Rose all the way through generations, Hall & Oates. Those guys don't give a shit. It's not the case case.
In his defense, though, Hall & Oates actually did have a controversy coordinator with them at all times.
Well, Hall did.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
But turns out, Tim, this guy's just a idiot being taken advantage of by a smart marketing team.
Yeah, or benefiting therefrom, yeah.
Sure. But the fact that they have these planned controversy projects, I no longer have to wonder who was holding the phone when he urinated on that money.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bunch of fucking suits back there. At least when we were talking about Rage Against the Machine, they believed they were anti-suit, anti the man. This guy is just a puppet on a string, and he doesn't know any better because Tim can't read.
Yeah. We do find out in this song, though, that he spent $2,000 on a white t-shirt. He spent $10,000 on Gucci bed sheets. We could start a side business in which we just sell this asshole fancy and also not fancy shirts for way too much money, right?
Yeah, I think I'm going to purchase a 6-pack of white Hanes t-shirts. I'm going to get a Sharpie, and then I'm going to write something ironic or possibly just cryptic that makes it seem like it's expensive and sell them for, I don't know, what, $3,500 a pop? What should we put on there?
Gucci.
No, that one's taken.
Oh, Gucci.
No Fear.
Also taken. And I think later in this song, he takes credit for the popularity of drugs.
How so?
Everybody want to be like Pump. Everybody got fake dreads and loved to take drugs. Drugs were extremely cool way before Gazzy, and they will be extremely cool after him.
They've always been cool.
They always will be cool.
They make you cool.
Absolutely, Garrett.
I was happy to see the confirmation in this song. I'm a millionaire, but I don't know how to read. Nope. I'm a role model that these kids want to be. Oh. So he finally does cop to it. After a lot of excuses and lead up while dancing around the subject, he finally has to say, you know what, I can't read. And then we switch over to young Tunchi, the godfather of littles, a little prime, if you will. And Wayne says, everybody want to be like Tune. Grow up to be like Tune, throw the be like Tune. Took me a minute to figure out what throw up the be like Tune meant. It turns out that means repping your crew, or in this case, throwing up those blood signs and calling out being a blood. I never got the impression this was a fad. Nobody is like pretending to be a part of the Bloods, right?
I think some people are, but they are savagely beaten.
As they should be, Tim.
Yeah, same thing
As
cowboys
we've
do.
pointed- What?
We do not care for the pretenders.
I mean, I have cowboy boots. I have a cowboy hat.
And you once claimed to be a cowboy on this very show.
Probably.
Watch your back is all I'm saying.
Bring it, horse jockey.
They have guns, Garrett.
Oh, right. I always forget you guys have guns. For
Lots
some
of
reason, I
them.
feel like you're like the Amish.
No, God damn it. No. We like horses.
Fancy a good wrestle English?
Let's just finish this. I want to keep going.
I challenge us, demand that we do these last three as fast as humanly possible. Track 13, Stripper Name, featuring YG and 2 Chainz.
Tell her come here, so my dick in a chuck. Put her in a headlock, she said she need L.
This song has a full 3 verses. That's a Gazzy record.
It's 33% more than any other song on here. He begins by saying, sip and drank while I'm on a jet ski. So to be clear, still enjoying that codeine. Folks, don't Google shave bears. Don't Google Mr. Hands. And for the love of Christ, don't ingest recreational codeine and then operate a jet ski. At best, you're going to drown.
Right. So what we're saying is, if you're going to use opiates while jet skiing, life jacket.
Oh, that's a bare minimum. Ideally, you're only a passenger. But then again, Tim, it kind of depends on where you are. You want lake water in your scissor?
Well, that's true. Maybe get like a Camelback full of it.
Oh, God, it's too much. It's too much codeine. Tim, I don't know a bitch, but I know her stripper name, Patricia. I don't know why. The name Patricia is a very funny name to me.
Granted, all Patricias aren't 47 years old, and they don't wear business suits to work. They had to grow up, so they were once younger.
Sure.
But they're all 47 and they wear a sharp pantsuit.
Yeah, not too flashy, but lets everybody know that she's confident, she believes in herself, and she's here for business. Got a stripper bitch named Alexis. Fucked her in Miami, but I left her in Texas. A little bit of a play on words here, referencing stripper Alexis, Texas. I don't really know anything more about her.
Untrue, Garrett. I have seen your internet history.
Please stay off my computer. Who that bitch over there, huh? Tell her to come here, suck my dick in a chair. What's their deal with chairs? Put her in a headlock. She said she need air. Made a broke bitch cry. Lil Pump really don't care. That is maybe the worst thank you for fellatio I've ever heard. Flowers, a nice orchid, a box of chocolates, a mint. These are all excellent things you can offer somebody after fellatio, but not a headlock. They're not your younger brother. You're not trying to decide what you're going to watch tonight. What? Well, no, I'm just saying, you're going to put a lady in a headlock. Maybe you might put your little brother in a headlock. Oh, I see. You thought I meant fellatio.
Right.
Got it. I don't like hair on that pussy. I want it plain. I want it plain is how you describe a cheeseburger. It's maybe how you would describe describe like a club that comes with a dressing on it. You do not describe a vagina that has no hair on it as plain.
Right.
You know what? Just ketchup. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'll take that pussy plain.
Jesus Christ. Boom shakalaka, boom.
He's on fire.
Yeah, it made me think of NBA Jam.
Fun fact, Tim, I was just yesterday requesting that we order. There's a company that makes not full size, but not like very tiny cabinet style arcade games. They're like $300-400. They announced that they're coming out with a NBA Jam one. I just today told our finance department to order us one.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be
And
fun.
it's got Wi-Fi in it, so we can play other people that have the arcade cabinet around the world.
Why would we want to play other people?
Because I'm not always here, man. I got a job.
Yeah, but
I
I'll
am
play
trying
single
to-
player.
You'd rather play the computer than other people?
Yeah, I want to get good enough to one day beat you. Garrett is very good at NBA Jam.
Yep.
And I don't do doo-doo, so I don't do the butt. Do the butt, swallow your pride, and swallow this nut. I drive in the pussy and make a left at the wall. If you know me...
He's doing it wrong. There should be no lefts in intercourse. Baby girl, you get flued out. What's your cash app? Tell him. These are prostitutes, right?
Yes.
I thought he didn't fuck with no hoes.
Oh, he does.
Does he just not pay him?
No, he does.
Okay. Track 14. Drug addicts.
Drug addicts, chill. Whole gang, chill. Drug addicts, ooh, chill.
Whole gang full of drug addicts. Oh, yeah. Take a lot of shit. Forgot what happened. Tim, is he bragging?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I got a habit.
Yeah, he's super proud.
That he's addicted to codeine.
Yes.
That is the only notes I have for this song.
It does have some good advice to some young fans. He says, start the day off with a pint. Yeah? Take a lot of drugs. Don't think twice.
Can I make a small caveat to that advice? Take a lot of drugs, sure. Don't take too many drugs.
No, you want to take just the right amount of drugs. Now, the only way to really find out how many the right number is to go just a little bit above that. Once you know that number, you just stay in that range. You might see that range raising a little bit over time, so you might have to increase it very slowly over time. But
Tim, I'd recommend a little bit of restraint. Maybe take a break every
that's a
once in a
great
while.
idea.
Lower that tolerance.
here's the thing. If you're going to do a drug that has a very significant depressive effect on the central nervous system or your respiratory apparatus in general, you want to be sure that when you come back from that break, you have decreased the amount quite a bit.
Oh, for sure. Otherwise, you're going to kill yourself.
Absolutely.
Or just always have a sleeping buddy, somebody that watches you while your eyes are closed to make sure that you don't OD and that you are not attacked in your sleep by a Freddy Krueger.
I do this for Garrett every night.
Yeah, whether I
Stand
ask him
over
to
that
or
bed,
not.
keep us warm, and keep a little bit of light in there with my match.
I've offered to get Tim a flashlight, lantern, use the flash on my phone. Every night, he demands the only use matchbooks which he has procured from various restaurants that he did not patronize.
Did you watch the music video for this?
I sure did, and I gotta say, Tim, knowing going in that it had Charlie Sheen, the bar was high.
Did it live up to it?
No, it did not.
Charlie Sheen for basically the entire music video is just kind of stone-faced in sunglasses. He's clearly hungover this whole time, allegedly.
Super allegedly, because I think he is sober now. I think he might just be a shallow husk of a man. He looks sober. He looked bored. He looked sad. His face was a stone.
That is what sobriety looks like.
Let me be the first to say, congratulations on white knuckling it, my friend, because you on drugs is not a great idea, but you looked miserable. They're doctors in a hospital.
They're
right?
popping pills and sharing drugs with old folks in a nursing home at one point. It's pretty fire.
God damn it. He makes some sort of pill cereal. He pours milk over a bunch of drugs.
I kind of like that.
I think that the video makes almost no sense. I think what they might have been going for is that he's in an insane asylum and he is hallucinating that he and Charlie Sheen are doctors. So they hand out a bunch of drugs and they're constantly drinking codeine through the whole thing. It's really embarrassing for the highest paid television star of 2017. I don't know what the fuck he's doing in this.
Was
Relevance?
he really? What was he on?
I couldn't tell you.
I know he was a very highly paid actor for 2.5 Men.
Oh, he got like $100 million for that show. He filmed like 100 episodes for before they ever released it.
Good for him.
I guess he's going to get that Magic Johnson AIDS medication.
Oh, yeah.
The one that only the mega rich can afford and cures AIDS.
Okay, see,
Excuse me.
let me
HIV.
Garrett,
What?
I am the one who uses Reddit. Not you. You don't get to come up with these theories. This is
It's
my
not
territory.
a theory. Go find HIV in Magic Johnson.
I don't want to.
Well, you can't. Google it. There's no HIV in that man, allegedly.
Somebody got cured by getting enough chemotherapy to kill all of his bone marrow and getting a bone marrow transplant.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a tough way to do it.
Yep.
Okay, so this music video kind of peters out. Charlie Sheen, not your lowest low, but close. Track 15, let's get it.
Just get it. Ooh, run the check with no limit. Popping on X, popping on X, popping on X.
Yet another song titled after nonsense words, or possibly, given the fact that he's illiterate, he just wrote the title to this song.
Hey, Pump, yo, what's up? What's this one here? Oh, you know, is it Ashket? Yes. That is definitely what I meant. I did not mean let's get it.
And there's a Shkedit count of 34 in this song, which seemed low to me.
I was surprised to only catch 34. Let me sum up this entire song in 3 lines. Ooh, only wear designer, Ashket. Hopping out the Wraith, Ashket. Smashing on your bitch, Ashket. There you go.
The only other thing I would mention is, and she showed titties on Skype. Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't like titties on Skype?
Well, again, we don't know because we weren't children when Skype happened.
Tim, you can have titties on Skype today.
I don't want to, though.
Oh.
I can't go down this path again, Garrett. He also says in this song, blew out 2 million at Tootsie's. Ooh, this is apparently a lie. According to the internet, the record for most ever spent at a strip club in a single night is $1 million, and that goes to Rick Ross.
Tim, this is why the terrorists hate us. $1 million at a strip club. Let's get this over with. Track number 16. Who dat?
In a stunning departure from the previous 15 songs, this is about how he loves ice, he loves drugs, he loves Lambos, he loves Robberies, etc. ad nauseum. Fuck off.
Etc. The only thing I'll point out that's any different in this song is that I think there might be a touch of foreshadowing. Perhaps he's starting to realize this is not the life that leads to longevity. He says, I'm rich as fuck, but I don't pay my taxes. Oh, that's interesting. To be continued.
Right. Another little bit that you should not say in your song.
Yeah. Prediction, Tim. Do we believe the IRS will be knocking on his door somewhere in the next 3 to 5 years?
Probably.
They're going to snipes his ass.
Yeah.
Wesley, that poor bastard, he tried to pay them too, and they're like, nah, that time is over. You're going to jail and paying us.
Oh, that's
yeah,
a shame.
the IRS is a bastard. All right, Tim, that takes us to the end of the song by song. Thank God. How did this piece of shit do?
So this is at least gold in the US, so that means it has sold over 500,000 copies, less than 1 million. It hit number 7 on the Billboard 200, but it made it all the way to number 2 and number 5 in Latvia and Lithuania, respectively. It only made it to number 35 on the Swedish Sverigetoplisten, number 40 on the Swiss Schweizer Hit Parade, and number 21 on the Dutch megacharts. But he has just an insane number of streams and song sales and YouTubes and whatever the fuck else.
Yeah, just hundreds of millions. But what do people think of it?
Well, we don't have a Robert Christgau review, but in lieu of that, Pitchfork, I just took a snippet from their review, and they said, Lil Pump never needed a first album, let alone a second. I tend to agree.
Well put, Pitchfork. What about the people of the internet? What Amazon reviews do you have for us?
Amazon only had 6 reviews for this album, so I had to expand it a little bit to Metacritic. Mylun Pigurum titled his review Askitit, and he just said, yeah, boy, and then gave it 4 out of 5 stars. From Metacritic, Easy Man gave this 7 out of 10, and he said, by no means is Pump lyrical or talented, but he is very catchy. The way he is able to sustain his status in music is thanks to huge features, bragging one-liners, and of course, the generic raps about Gucci, girls, and money. So why give this a 7? It's worked out, hasn't it? People are listening to him and buying into his music, which is really all you can ask for. The gist of his review is that he doesn't like it, but he's given it a pretty good score because other people bought it.
Right.
One last one, Brandmaster. He said, Lil Pump at least has some talent in him. He has a rhythmic flow and catchy lyrics. The only problem is how he's inconsistent. Disagree. Compare some of his early songs to the ones now. Lil Pump might not be a favored person in general, but it's gonna be sad if he were to die. Possibly as sad as X's death. 10 out of 10. I like it that he predicts his death. Listen,
yeah, that is kind of nice.
I've listened to this guy's lyrics. Some of them are great. Some of them not so great. They all point to one thing, though. Gonna die.
Premature death.
And that's not us saying this. That is the Brandmaster.
Yeah, somebody needed to, and I'm glad we didn't have to. Great reviews, Tim. Who's this thing for?
No clue.
The youth, not us.
Who knows?
Anything we need to say about this that we haven't already said?
I do not understand why this is popular. I don't understand why people keep giving giving him money. Like, I know the point of this show is to address these things, as well as figure out if we hate it and why, but after listening to this for an entire week, I cannot fathom why anyone would hear this album and say, here's some money.
I don't understand how you could listen to an album, let alone, there's not even a standout single that I could get behind here.
He's released like 8 singles from this album, which again makes sense, because what would you pick?
Well, they're all interchangeable.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not belabor it. This has been taxing. Tim, do you hate this album?
Yeah, of course I do. It's garbage. What about you, Gazzy? Do you hate this album?
I'm going to fill your bed with ants.
Garrett, it's not going to be too effective because I have filled my bed with anteaters.
Okay. Yes, I hate this. I hate this so much. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You hate it. I hate it. Everyone should hate it. And it seems like most people did. I don't think we can ever do a Lil Uzi Vert album. We can do a prepisode, sure. But I don't know if I could put myself through a whole nother album of this shit.
Lil Uzi Vert or Lil Pump?
Lil Uzi Vert. What I mean is they're essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
But I definitely never do another Lil Pump.
I think we should take a step back, maybe put a year-long ban on Lols for a while, because this was rough.
It's not worked out well. Yeah. Who knew Lil Wayne was going to be the best Lil? Actually, you know who the best Lil is?
No.
Lil Kim.
Well, we don't know. We haven't addressed it yet.
Yeah, we have, though. We've seen Lil Kim.
Yeah, but we haven't
just
done
the other
a full album.
Sure. As always, folks, please write a review. Get out there, throw the 5 stars up there. That's great. Then put something fun in there. The weirder the review, the better. You can reach out to us, too, by going to hatepod.com. We have every episode in every format you could possibly want. You can click contact us in the upper left-hand corner, and you can email us, tell us your thoughts, your ideas, your hopes, your dreams. Send us pictures. Send us videos. Send us questions, thoughts, concerns. Or you can just email us directly at hatepodmail@gmail.com. Reach out to us at Album HatePod on Twitter, HatePod on Instagram, YouTube. You can Google. I don't remember YouTube's URL. Facebook.com/HatePod. That's about it. Tim, anything else you want to say to the people?
Nope.
For Why I Hate This Album, I have been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey.
Gazzy Harvey. And I have been Tim Richardson.
I'm going to slap you.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. I joined the Navy, got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. Try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. No, it's a lobster murder sex thing. It's the bleaching of the rear. A full assault on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive. The lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides. The cover art's a mess. Listen to it for a week. Now that week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Gary.